Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Giving double honor to the apostle elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings of pushing this truth and sincerity in the Bible bowl. To Brother Apostle Kudash, coming to you again another lesson. All right. And the lesson I'm doing today is talking about this crazy stat I came across, right? And I'm going to just read a little bit of this article. And it basically says, though only 5% of the world's population lives in the United States, so 5% of everyone in the world, so if there was 100 people scattered amongst the world, there'd only be 5 in the United States. That's just a good way to break it down, right? 5% of the world is in the United States. And this was in 2015. It says, it is home to 25% of the world's prison population. So what does that mean? You got 5% of the world in the United States, but you have 25% out of everybody who locked up in the world. 25% of those people are here in the United States. So here it is. We don't even make up the majority of the population because you got these giant nations like India, Elam and them, Moab, Ammon. You know, they got pretty big populations over there. You know what I'm saying? You got the Middle East. It's a pretty big population in that area. Really all these continents, but it's particular like it's particular areas in the world where it's way more popular, like certain parts of Africa, Middle East, like very middle is very populated, but they don't have the biggest prison population. Mind you, China has 1 billion people. India has 1 billion people. United States has 300 million, and 25% of everybody in the world locked up is here. That's a crazy fact. Like, that's a crazy thing to say when you think about it. Right? But I wonder why it's like that, right? It's because we all have equal opportunities here, right? Because we all got the same rights. We all, so it's fair, right? No. You got errors from Jim Crow, from slavery. Them things affect Jake to this day because you starting behind. And then they push us in these projects, these low income, low impoverished areas, and they wonder why the crime's so high. And then, a lot of the time, Jake be innocent. Of course, nobody's innocent to sin because we all sin. But as far as these laws here in America, a lot of people be innocent. And guess what they do? They say, well, the proof says otherwise. I read an article about a dude who's sitting in jail right now for the rest of his life, but they know he innocent. But because of the technicalities and the way things were worded 20 years ago, he has to sit in there until he can prove otherwise. But he can prove he's innocent, but he has to prove it another way now. But they know for a fact he's innocent. But they have to prove it another way. And that's the thing about it. These people here, they don't care. These Edomites, they don't care. As long as they keep Jake down, they good. They know they keep Jake down, then they up. That's how a pyramid works. Whoever on top, it's a small remnant on top, and the rest at the bottom, that's where you're going to find most people. Where do you find most people in jail? They come from Jake neighborhoods. You go to jail, there's 95% niggas in there. This is Isaiah. Fucking phone freezing up. There we go. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. It said, woe, meaning death and destruction unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. What's an unrighteous decree? Making a decree or making a decree or a rule that go against the scriptures, right? Because really all unrighteousness is just anti-scripture, no matter how you look at it. So Jacob goddamn killed his wife because she committed adultery on him. He came home from working a hard 12-hour shift. He'd kill her and the dude, and they don't give him 2 life sentences. But what he did was righteous. Jacob be jaywalking, trying to get across the street so he can get to work faster, and they'll hit him with a $200 ticket that he can't pay for. So now he's sitting in the county making 50 cents a day trying to pay it off. The list goes on and on, bro. You got so many Israelites in jails for child support. But the thing is, this said prison, so this ain't talking about the county or jail. There's a difference. Prison is, if I'm not mistaken, that's like 10 years or more. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 10 years or more. So 25% of the population here is doing 10 years or more. Easy. And you always hear about that. You'll run into a Jake. I ran into a Jake when I was 20 years old, and he told me he just got out of bed from doing 20 years. And he looked destroyed on the inside. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 2. To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. Is that not what they do? If all the men of our nation is in jail, because it's majority of our men that's in jail, right? Or have done the 10, 20-year bid somewhere around there, that leaves the woman with the kids at home, and that's not her role to play the man of the house. Now she's a widow, and now Esau comes in and, we're going to need you to put a dress on one of them. She's going to do it. Because she don't know how to say no to them. She doesn't, you had a lot of, at one point in time period, women wasn't even working, so you didn't have no man. It was looking scarce. You seen the Malcolm X movie, he said they was eating so much shit that said not for sale because it was spoiled. He thought not for sale was a brand. His dad got murdered by Edomites. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here because my phone on 1%, but I'm going to do a part 2 very shortly. Cut the video in half just for time's sake, but I'm back at it talking about how this nigga, this Esau Edom, right, the so-called pale, the so-called white man, how he always got a track or a trick up his sleeve for so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians, and really everybody though, but mainly the Israelites. All right, this Psalms 10 and 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. All right. And we know this sound like Esau to a T, because look at how, Esau in his cop cars. He'll sit back in the bushes, I'll continue. He'll sit back in his bushes, in the bushes, literally with the cop car, turn the lights off. And when you zoom past, whoop, he gonna cut them on to chase you, not knowing that in the law, if you actually got a little knowledge in the law, I found this out recently, when they do that, it's illegal. You could take them to court for that, because they're not supposed to be sitting back in the dark like that. His own laws, right? If you know him, you know what I mean. If you don't, then you're down if you do, down if you don't, for real. But is this not Esau for you? Bro, 25% of the people in the world are in the American justice system. Where's this the best system for justice, and 25% of the people in the world are locked up in one country? It never gets. It's always something new with this devil. 1 Peter 5 and 8. This 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking who he may have devoured. All right, now we're going to go into a couple of these where it say be sober. It say to be sober, to be calm and collect in spirit, to be temperate, dispassionate, circumspect. Now, if you know how Esau is, he loves to catch you off guard. That's the whole point of sitting in a waiting position, because when you get out of your strength, or when you uncomfortable, or when you weak, he going to jump out and get you. Like a lion. That's what lions do. They get down in the grass. They get up close on you, catch you when you're not looking, and now you fool. Same thing with this devil. Now you in the justice system. You got people doing fucking 50 years in the justice system for a minor offense, but they on their third strike, and Esau was sitting there waiting, watching on them. The damn devil. All right. But that's just sober. Now when we go back to vigilant, be vigilant, it says Gregorio, it's a verb. It says to watch, give strict attention to, be cautious, active, to take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake one. So basically to watch, right? Be circumspect. It say be vigilant, be circumspect, be a watcher, because this nigga, he's gonna try to destroy you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Adversary. Word adversary. The word is in Greek is antidikos. Antidikos. It says an opponent in a suit of law, an adversary, enemy. So an enemy, an opponent. Who was our adversary enemy? Esau, Edom. History tells you that on its own. It says, well, that's pretty much it on the words. But I guess we're going to the word devour too. Cat of Eno. That's the Greek word for devour. Cat Eno. It says to drink down, swallow down, to devour, swallow up, or destroy. Is that not what Esau trying to do? Swallow up the nation of Israel? To point to the Lord. Look, Lord, they going off down here. But really, that's not going to work. But he do it in his justice system, though. He'll say, well, you guys were down there shooting at each other. We're going to give you both life. And then you turn around, and he the dude that sold him the gun, sold him the bullets, and told him to, so-and-so did this to so-and-so. He got it all started. And then he want to throw the book at you. All right? They just want to keep you in the system. And that's the thing about this new system, the beast system, which is not going to come to fruition. I mean, the beast system is here, but as far as like the chip, having people chipped up, that's not going to last for 20. You're not going to see people chipped up and they're going to be 50 years later. That's not. After the chip, very soon is the missiles. Right? So this system he's trying to bring it up to where he can just watch everything and do this. Because now he just scooping people up randomly. You had plenty of movies that show you that where he gave people like a chip and they couldn't commit crimes. But, this nigga, he the devil, bro. So that's what they show in the movies. But the whole time, they make it so where you could just only commit crimes and they can come arrest you. This devil, they said he's wiser than Daniel. But look what he do with the wisdom he got, the so-called wisdom. Wickedness. He just want to lock Jake up, man. But I hope this was edifying. Be circumspect. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostle, elders, great millstones. Peace and blessings to those pushing the truth and sincerity in the Bible bull.